Yo, what's going on there, YouTube? It's your boy, Marcus Levy, the Angry Ranter here for Sunday vlog number 15. Okay, so since yesterday's vlog, which was posted really late, I apologize, was one that I got really real and personal with some, changes that I want to see myself make. I'm going to also mention something else that I've been thinking really, really heavily about. And it obviously involves the future. And sort of where I see myself going. But actually, it's more where did I see myself going? Because I realize some people who are no longer in my life or haven't been for about 4 years were people who talked me out of doing certain things that I wanted to do when I was 18, 19, 20, right? Not bad things, but certain career choices. Someone who I honestly thought I was going to marry a long time ago, she talked me out of doing the thing I wanted to do with my life. And because I honestly thought that I was going to marry this person, then that was the reason why. Yes, and I'll admit being engaged at 19 might have been a little stupid, but there are some decisions that we all make that we don't regret, or actually that we should never regret, because all things help build us to the people we are today, but that we would have hoped could have gone in a different direction. And so my, ex-fiance then, had talked me out of wanting to join the military. I did cadets for 6.5 years. The military was my life from the time I was 12 until the time I was 19. And then I was completely prepared to sign up, go to the Royal Military College in Kingston, do the ROTP program, and never even have gone to Algonquin College. I understand that would have led to a completely different life than the one I have now. I would have never met any of the friends that I have now, and I love them all. So, my time at Algonquin was not all bad. It just wasn't plan A. Actually, it wasn't even plan B, because plan B was to go to Carleton and U Ottawa and study psychology. Algonquin was plan C. In this case, it was the settled for option. And then I just made the best of it. Because I didn't get into my first option, and my second option I wasn't comfortable with when I got accepted into it. I realized it was twice as expensive, and there was no freaking bloody way I was going to be able to work, do all those classes, and and afford to pay for a bachelor's degree all at the same time. So instead, I went in a completely different direction, did college, made it through, had some great experiences, met some awesome people, and, walked out of it with, 2 diplomas, 1 honors, and a certificate. And of course, I'm back at Algonquin again, doing the social media program. But there's a part of all of the things that came after that just made it feel like something was missing. And I always wonder why, in the back of my head, even when I worked through all of the memories that plagued me through the rest of my life, through my life up until the beginning of this year. I did that all last year. Why the only one that somehow still keeps sticking in my mind is a particular thing that happened to me in the cadet program, which was getting passed over for the highest rank. I was the second highest rank, and then because I chose to go to college, they chose to basically, not promote me, because they figured, I had other priorities. They didn't even talk to me about it. They just the CO at the time, who didn't like me, just said, well, screw you then. and was going to keep me at Chief 2 while he promoted the guy who I had been training for the past 5 years, who was technically in line to take over after me. Instead, he got 2 years, because 2 years of being in charge, because they chose not to give it to me. And then they wanted me to be his teacher, his guide, to show him how to run things. They didn't want to let me run things to show him how to run things. No, they wanted him to run things and then me to just sort of course correct. Well, it felt like a massive slap in the face, of course, because I got literally nothing for it. I mean, they made up some bullshit chief quartermaster position just to be like, oh, here's another position that you can fill. And I was like, oh, that's great, fantastic, but not what I'm looking for. So it came back to my attention, I think last night, for the first time in a long time, that I had a set trajectory that I wanted to go on. And yes, it's been basically 6 years since I graduated high school. And yeah, I'm 24, older, wiser, fatter. It happens. But but I'm not too far gone from being able to do I guess what I could call a more compromised version. So I think I'm making up my mind right now, and I'm going to stick it out where I'm at work right now, and spend all of my, excess time and energy doing what I can to get myself a full-time position with a reserve forces unit in the Navy here in Ottawa. I'm going to look to do that for 3 to 5 years to get myself stable, and then hopefully find some way that I can still work there as much as possible, maybe even to be able to stay on full time. And if they'll let me also pursue a bachelor's degree, do my freaking BSW, MSW, because even though social work itself was not the passion, doing that stuff in the military was the passion. That's where I wanted to give back to, because it was my life, it was my sense of community, it was the thing that I had. And it takes out a lot of the stress surrounding making certain everyday decisions. The military is true minimalism, and I think that's the best part of it. So I'm going to focus all my energy and attention on trying to get in somewhere. If the first one doesn't work out, then I'll try another one. If Navy doesn't work, then I'll try Air Force, Army, whatever. I just need to get my fat ass back in a uniform because it'll make me feel better. And of course, the military will pay for master's degree education of any kind for a job that you're applying for. And there are social work officer positions. And I understand I'm going to start off as what they call a non-commissioned member, get slapped with like a rank like ordinary seaman to start off, right? And then eventually do the university stuff, and hopefully then, once it's all said and done, maybe by 2030, I can see myself finally in an officer role. do that for a period of time, and then eventually make my way into an educational institution where I could be a professor by 2040, as still is something I would love to do. Also get a PhD in social work would be fantastic. It's the trajectory my life was meant to go on, but I was talked out of it, and I always felt like something was missing. And I don't want to be one of those old people who has regrets about failed and missed opportunities, especially when they were ones I wanted. And it's one thing to miss out on many once-in-a-lifetime opportunities, because guess what? We missed out on tons of those in our lives, and I can't be going around stressing. But this is something that I don't have to miss out on. I might have put on some weight, but I'm not exactly beat up so badly that the military wouldn't actually set me straight. It would. It would give me the physical and health discipline that I actually could use at this time of my life when, you know, cadets gave me the mental discipline that I needed as a child, and I knew that. My parents didn't put me in it, I put myself in it. Obviously they had to drive, but I mean, I was the one that wanted it. But either way, thanks for watching. Check out all the socials down below. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.